Alright, let's track down this wire. Should be much easier to see now that it's lit up. Oh yeah. This way we can see if it's multiple wires. So far it doesn't look like it. But if we end up tracking it down and discovering that it doesn't lead anywhere, that means we missed a puzzle or something that it lit up. But I think I know where it goes. Let's see what we find. Yeah, with any luck, we'll be able to get in there soon. Oh yeah, he's got something going on here now. Ooh. So I'm guessing we need to touch each of these on like 3 sides. So something like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then... oh. Okay, here we go. That'd be 1, 2, 3. Hey, hey! Looks like our scouting was all correct. And... you close the door? Oh, you're on a timer. For what, though? Is it a new puzzle with that? No. Okay, we need to figure out what you're a timer for. Oh. Was this on a timer the whole time? And if we leave... I mean, worst case scenario, we might have to solve that again. Actually, I don't want to worst case scenario it. If there's no way back in. I don't know. There might be another one of these on the other side. But let's go through here first. I don't want to lock myself out already. Okay. So you should be relatively simple. Hopefully. Oop. Maybe not. Well, then we can't leave. So we have to... So you're isolated. You guys are isolated, but then we can't deal with you. Okay. I think you're the troublesome one right here. So it's going to have to be something like that. I feel. However, we're already running into issues over here. Problem is, then we block our exit. then we have to make a choice on which one we isolate, or I guess which way. So that wouldn't work. Unless it's something more like... No, because then we can't come back to isolate these. I think you're here just to mess with me, so we can't come all the way back. Because that would make this easy. So you have to be the key to it somehow. And then So we can't do the black squares above the line and the white squares below it. We definitely can't do the blacks below and the whites above. Yeah, this little section here's the troublesome part. So what can we do? You seemed like you'd be a simple one. I'm glad we didn't have to try to solve you from outside of the room, like we initially tried. Yeah, the problem is that all the times we touch corners just limits what else we can do here. Okay, so that's something. We can isolate this white one now, but we can't do anything about the other white ones. So we need to do that first. There we go. And yep, that looks good. Access granted. And also, since we're in new areas, we should be looking for new environmental puzzles and or voice recordings. Just in case. So, no sprinting again. Oh! Okay, this area is much more expansive than I realized. That's an elevator that once we get to the top, we can probably ride back down as some sort of shortcuts. Wow. This place sure is neat. Oh, the sound on it's pretty cool too. It's like a big echoey chamber. I wonder if we're going to encounter new puzzle types, because those almost look like tutorials to some extent. Oh, we can see outside over that way. Nah, I think this is mostly mixes of stuff we've seen already. Seems like most of the puzzles are somewhat optional to some degree. Okay, I'm going to have to figure out the best way of doing this all to where I don't miss anything. Okay. So we got a null void. Pair of sunbursts, which we can't join together. So it'd have to be a sunburst and a color. So if we were to do something like that would satisfy the null void, but we can't quite separate these colors. Then we have too many pairs. There's just not enough space to work with in this puzzle, it feels like. Oh, what if we did this? It isolates colors, pair of sunbursts, and the null void would be the one green with the pinks. Perfect. I'm so used to puzzles also doing things now. Okay. We've seen this before. At least it's not flashing anymore. But I think it's a mix of all of those things. Okay. So from what I can tell, you guys are all yellow. You guys are all blue or cyan. And then based off what color gets added. So in this section here, you guys are all yellow. I have a feeling I need to understand colors a bit better as well, to see how the shift occurs up here. Like, I can't tell what colors these are. It's not 100%, just because that's not the yellow background that matches this one. Okay, let's try making this a little simpler on ourselves. You guys are all the same. You guys here are different from each other. Oh, yeah, this isn't going to work because we can't do that kind of stuff. Okay. So we have no idea what color this one is. For all I know, there could actually be 3 colors in here. Or more. Like, yeah, we're seeing the tear on these guys kind of showing how they interact with the different colors. Which is also a little strange. Because, like, this one starts to turn green in the violet. Or, yeah, colors. Green in the purple. But this one's more of a cyan in the purple. You'd think they'd be the same. But at the same time, because they have in the blue section, they're yellow. But maybe they're not the same. Oh boy. Because I'm not the greatest at colors, there might be some brute forcing involved with this. I almost wish it was changing so I could see at different phases what they look like. And I believe if we stepped out, if we could get back in, which I can't guarantee we can, we might be able to go look at one of the color shifting ones to see what it does. I want to say the more blues, greens, and cyans could be grouped with the yellow, whereas the purples, oranges, violets. Oh, except what do we do here? If that's the case. And then where do the yellows fall into it? Would that be more of these as they gradually go that way? But then as these ones gradually go that way, what do they become? Let's take a guess. Somehow feel like this isn't a good guess. No, it's like we know, we're pretty sure this and this and this are the same. Problem comes, how do we cause that to be true while getting rid of some of these other ones? Because I feel like we need to get these blues and these purples separate. We might not need to, though. Maybe they go together? No, those definitely look more like they match with this one. So we definitely need the line to be more here. But we run into the problem that these also look like they match down here versus over there. No, I don't see that working. Okay, so we got those separate. I think we need to... No, because I need to separate these. Like that one doesn't work. I don't know if we can pull these blues out. Not together. Maybe somehow separately. No, because this one can't join with that one or that one. I think I can join with this one. But then the problem becomes we can't get around this one to cut it out anywhere because we occupied this corner. So we can separate one, but we can't separate both. Unless we include one of these two. Like I said, I wish this thing was changing colors. We haven't even gotten to the rest of it yet. We're more worried about this section. And like I said, once again, maybe they go together, maybe they don't. Let's just try something weird. No, didn't think so. Okay, so those all feel like they go together. Yeah, this definitely feels like it requires more of an understanding of colors. Problem is we're getting way too close to the end. Let's try that. No. I was thinking maybe. However, I think we were assuming that one joins. Oh. Okay. I think we'll have the easiest time just cutting those out. And then it's from here, which ones go together? Now, like I said, these all seem, as we add more green, they become more yellow. But then when we move to the cyan, which is weird. Like, that seems to be a gradual shift that looks good. And then over here, we already kind of see some of the purple, but these haven't really shifted as it's moved. But they do look like they kind of go together. Is there 3 colors here? Is that what's going on? And we've already included these 2 in this group, assuming they're correct, as it shifts that way. In fact, yeah, this one right here that I'm over, at the bottom right, they should be on the same hue. Because, yeah, as, I guess, starting in this corner, we get more purple, so stuff should match, and then it starts to turn orange. So I think we need to kind of be looking at it this way. Like, this one and this one are on the same. These 3 are gradually shifting to this one. In this section here, like, these match, and then maybe, yeah, this kind of match. But maybe as you get more yellow into red, maybe these are all part of a group. Well, not these ones. These ones kind of match more down here. Okay, let's try something like that again. Let's cut out these ones and those ones. Is this all the same, though? If it's not, I don't know how we're going to break it up. Let's see. Hey! Okay. How did... yeah. Hopefully we don't see too many more of those. I kind of understand it. Like I said, it was better when it was shifting. Might not have been easy on the eyes, but you could kind of keep track of what every color was as it shifted through the gradients. Okay. For you, is there some way... Ooh, not like that. Oh, here we go. Oh, not quite. Actually, more like this. There we go. Pair of sunbursts. 4 black squares separated from the 6 whites. And that looks like part of the treehouse puzzles. Just one panel of it here. Okay, we spent a long time on you guys before. You do make a 6-pack. When joined together. Problem being, right now you're on the opposite sides. So we'd have to find a way to join you together. And because you're tilted, you can be angled either this way or this way. Let's just assume you're standing up here. No. I was about to say, if we included this one like right here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, but it doesn't include this one. Unless we could somehow also include the dot, which we can't. can't be made by yourself. So you have to be joined with something. And since you can't be made by yourself either, that means you also have to be joined. So I think the key is, how do we get these three to link up? I think this one's going to have to be separate. Ooh, actually. If it was 1, 2, 3, 1, that would work, but that doesn't work because of this. However, could we cut this shape out? No, the corner. Well, both corners, technically. I'd let's say maybe you do join with this one. If we were to do 1, 2, 3, 4, I think that'd be impossible with the corners. Yeah, we can't cut anything else out. Okay. Maybe back to the drawing board on that one. I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, make the T little shape, but that doesn't actually include either of them. So, yeah, I feel like you have to be by yourself. You guys have to form a 6-pack. Well, you don't have to. We could fill in the voids with this somehow. But more than likely, you guys form a 6-pack. Question is, where would the 6-pack go to make it fit? Okay, so that doesn't actually include any of the 6-pack, and we can't move you in such a way, like it includes you, but we can't move you to include both of those. The same thing would happen here. So if it is a 6-pack, it would have to be either on one of these sides standing up or somewhere laying down. If it's laying down, it includes this, but then we can't actually include either of the 6-packs. So if it's standing up here, it includes one 6-pack. You can't grab the other one, and I imagine it'd be the same this way. So if it stands up here, includes this one. We could use you like that, but that wouldn't work. Ah, we could use you like, well, it wouldn't include you, but it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the problem. So that would include the other part of the 6-pack, but not actually include the shape. Is there some way to link these 3 together? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that could be it right there. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the L. 6-pack includes the L now, and then the 1 dot to include the other part of the 6-pack. So how do we do that? 6-pack dot L. There we go. Okay. Feels weird solving puzzles for no reason. Like, there could be a reason, but no wires, nothing to reward me for being like, good job, you solved it. Like, no way of knowing if it did anything or if it didn't. Okay, well, we have this section of upstairs. And this is similar to the temple, where we have a obstruction. Now, the issue is all these shapes. Got a total of 12 spaces. Oh. That one actually sounds like it might have some effect on the environment. Or it's just the equi nature of these halls. So 3, 3, 3. Can't get to that spot, so that wouldn't work. But 3, 3, 3. Like, the reason I'm looking at it more at a diagonal is because we can't even see the shape to include it in anything like this. So I feel like it has to be at an angle. But then the problem we run into is we can't actually get around it. Is it possible that if we can't see the shape, it doesn't exist? I think we've thought stuff like that before and it was wrong. Well, I guess we can test that real quick. I'm looking at this 3 sideways and then these 3 standing up. But how can I make that? I'd have to cut you out for that to work while also getting the shape, and that's not going to work because actually it could work. Something like this. Yeah, if we were able to completely ignore the other one, that would be correct. But it seems like we can't. Which then comes the question of how. So we can't get around it at all. And it looks like it gets gradually harder and harder as we go. Or maybe these are just the easier ones, but I somehow doubt it. This just continues on. Yeah, I actually don't know. I think this would be the first one we would see. You know what? We'll come back to you real quick. We have this whole downstairs section that we technically saw first. Yeah, this is where we came in. There's this whole section here, which technically we would have seen first. Alright, you guys look much more Tetris-y. You're not tilted, so we can't change your angles. I feel like we're going to kind of need to stack you up. So, if we had 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4... That's a shape right here. Oh, it's symmetrical. Fun. So, in that case, I imagine whatever we do has to work on both sides, kind of stuff. And there is the same number of squares. They're just in different orientations. So we just have to figure out what shapes work for both. Now what I'm seeing here is we do have an L and a corner piece. Are those exact mirror images of what we have going on here? The L with the corner... No, they're not exactly opposite. This would have to be basically 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, 3. So I don't think that'll work, just kind of sticking them together. Will it? Am I mistaken? So it'd be this on top of that. No, that definitely doesn't work there. Unless we scooched it to the side. that one stacked on top of this one. Does that work for you? No, not at all. So yeah, I think this one would have to be more like this to do anything. So if that's not it, what else do we got? Well, if this was the last part of this T, so something like that, and then throw that in there as well. Does this work for you? No, it doesn't. Actually, this doesn't work for either of them. I don't know what I was looking at. That's... Actually, I think we tried that with the bottom one. And it didn't work for the top one. What was I seeing? Okay, I saw something more like this, I think. And then like this. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I don't know why I couldn't make it work when I tried it. But yeah, this should be it. The, well, I was just getting ready to point with my finger at my screen. You guys can't see that. But, yeah, this would be on the upper section. You have the angled piece. I don't even know what you would call that. Plus L. And then the bottom, you have the L in the corner. So, yep. Okay. That's one. These definitely highlight as they go. Hey, voice recording. Let's take a little break and listen to that.
God bade me behold the sea, and I saw the ships sinking and the planks floating. Then the planks too were submerged. And God said to me, "Those who voyage are not saved." And he said to me, "Those who, instead of voyaging, cast themselves into the sea, take a risk." And he said to me, "Those who voyage and take no risk shall perish." And he said to me, "In taking the risk, there is a part of salvation." And the wave came and lifted those beneath it and overran the shore. And he said to me, "The surface of the sea is a gleam that cannot be reached, and the bottom is a darkness impenetrable. And between the two are great fishes, which are to be feared." Nefari, circa 970. What?
I'm going to the store. Do you want a sandwich or something?
You've been standing there for like an hour.
I didn't want to interrupt.
And I don't like sandwiches. Have you ever seen me with a sandwich? Why would you think I want a sandwich?
Sorry.
No, I need some sleep.
It's okay. We're all working hard.
I just want to read it right. We're going to be hearing this a lot of times. Every little thing matters because it gets so multiplied.
It's good. It's already good.
Thanks. Yeah. But we've kind of picked high goalposts. Every little bit matters. Oh, can you get me a coffee?
Well, that was super neat. Got to catch a glimpse behind the curtain there. And I have to agree, These are definitely read very well. I wish I was half as good at reading things without making mistakes. I mean, I'm sure there were mistakes and edits and cuts and all that, but very well done. Okay. This one looks rather simple. On the surface. Oh, I'm already seeing a mistake with it. Yeah. The mistake I'm seeing is there's a bridge there. No. That should be fine as long as this is part of the 3. And then this one could also work. Oh, maybe. So that 3. Okay. I'm already seeing issues with that as well. We can't cut out that top left corner. We can't cut that out and then come back and make the shape. So while it looks simple on the surface, it is anything but. Okay, so what do we do about you? Well, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That would allow us to come here. So we just have to cut out the bottom portion, I believe. So like this, then across. No, the exit. Just when I thought I was on to something. Alright then. Have it your way. We'll just move it. No, we can't move it up 1 because it cuts out that shape. So maybe the problem is we don't join them. But how would we make that work? Because yeah, that could cut out that one. And I feel like that's how we have to leave. But what do we do about the first one? In this orientation, there's only one way it can work to include it. That's these. Which we had... Well... No, because then we can't come down and make that shape. And similar to last time, can't cut out the corner. So, if it was 1, 2, 3, that would include both of them. But yeah, that could work. The one, no. I think we might have tried that. Yeah, it doesn't allow us to exit. But no. I was about to say, can we cut it out the other way? The problem with that is we can't cut out this piece. Well, wait, what am I trying to cut out? I don't even know. Yeah, it'd be something like that. So we can't get rid of these two unless we get rid of those two right away. But then we can't get rid of this one. So if we get rid of that one right away... Wait. No. It'll be up here. I feel like I have to just keep walking this over. We're going to run into a problem with that one at some point. I'm trying to cut this out. And this. Oh, we're eventually going to run ourselves into a spot where we can't actually leave. Because I think this one has to be included. Since we can't get out that way, means we wouldn't be able to cut it out. So yeah, that whole line of thinking wouldn't work. Unless... There we go. I think that's something I was thinking earlier. We were just removed by one spot. Like when we try to leave out the top. I think we moved maybe one too high. Okay. So, basically the same thing, just a different exit point. Also, different bridge. So it probably changes it a lot, actually. If we were to 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3. Not quite. If we were to try to get it closer to the exits, be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, which we can't break this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Actually doesn't include the other shape, so that's not it. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, I think this is the corner problem again. Yeah. Oh, that wouldn't actually include the other shape. If we somehow stack them... Okay. 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3. That'll work. They're just seeing what they can do with these two shapes. It's pretty neat. Also very annoying. Okay, so the exit's at the bottom this time. So something like this won't work. So we can't get out. Unless... No. Because as soon as we came up here, we couldn't actually cut the shape out. It would have one too many dots. Unless... No. If we came over, we'd run into that corner. So 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3. Problem is, so that can't work. If we did 1, 2, 3, like that, could we? Somehow stack you? No, it's going to include the corner that we don't want. So instead of that, so That looks good. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Oh, I was about to say that should just work, but no, we can't get out because we run across this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think that was one of the very first things we kind of tried. But now everything lines up to make that work. Whoa. I don't think I moved my mouse. Maybe I did. Now I won't know. The fact that I just instantly jerked down like that didn't feel like it was me, but it might have been me. Oh, we're gonna do this a lot of times. Oh boy. Okay. So that's one shape. That's both shapes. Now they are right away. They're like, nope, not this time, buddy. That's fine. That's one shape. That's two shapes. And they're like, not again, buddy. That's fine. Be nice if that's all it was, but it doesn't actually include the other shape. Okay. What can we do? Like that is the shape, but it doesn't include it. We can't move it up one because of where the break is. And we can't make it work even if we include this shape. So it's not this section. At least that's not included. Now if we did U, we wouldn't be able to move that to include it. Unless... Well, we couldn't even get the two connected that way, I don't think. Well, no. Let's see, if we had you be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, the break. I do feel like they're gonna have to kind of be back to back here. So like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but that doesn't include this shape. So maybe they can't be back to back. At least not in that regard. One, two, three. Problem is that break. Yeah, this can't be the 1, 2, 3 because that can't ever touch that without rotating. I think I saw something. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We just have to make that work. Yep. Okay. Now we can do the back-to-back. This one being 1, 2, 3. And this one being 1, 2, 3. So like this. Bam. Okay, so if you were 1, 2, 3. Problem is we can't include it. Unless... No. Now we run into the problem with this corner here. Can't cut it out. Whoa. And then we couldn't do that corner. I think all that trial thing, yeah, we'll just keep running into the same issues as it moves further out, but now we also have more gaps. I can't even say more, just different. Okay, so what do we do here that includes the shapes? One, two, three. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 wouldn't work because that break. Oh, no, that cuts out the shape. So... 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3 doesn't include this shape. Actually, that's not even the shape of any of them. There is no 1, 2, 3. Okay. Doesn't include this one. Wouldn't include this one at all. There'd be no way to do it. Even if it worked, which it doesn't. I can see why this is the last in a sequence. Seems a tougher of the group. Oh, I think I see something. Okay, so that's the 1, 2, 3 on the right. This will be the 1, 2, 3 on the left, and then cut out this corner. Yep, that should work. Hurrah! And that's no jerking down, so it might have just been me. Okay, what do we got over here? Oh, goodness. I was about to say, at least there's no breaks, but there is a break. I have a feeling you're going to have to be connecting material.